What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing this morning? This morning, I'm going to talk to y'all about cape thread. I've got sinew thread, and this right here is actually B55 bowstring. A lot of places it's sold as cape thread. I use both of these threads. For years, I used the natural sinew, and I liked it because it lays flat against the hide. You can see it's got a very flat profile. Super thin from the side, but when you stitch with it, it does lay very flat. It's strong, hard to tear. This is not real sinew thread. It's almost impossible to find now. This is an artificial sinew. One advantage to this is that you can actually split this into different strings. You can see right there, if you just kind of mess with that a little bit, it'll just come apart. I use this right here for my repair work. These little thin strands like that right there are great for doing small repair work, like on the nose and around the eyes and face. You just can't see the thread, it's so small. I like the bowstring to do my main stitch in the back, mainly because the sinew thread, I don't know if I can make it do it right here, but if it gets caught on itself, or if you actually catch it with a needle, yeah, there you go. You see how it tries to just knot up, almost like a, y'all might be able to see it against my shirt, almost like a backlash in a bait casting reel. It just gets into a fuzz. It just makes a mess. And the drier it gets as you're working with it, the more it tends to come apart. Also, that real flat shape to it will cut your fingers to pieces as your fingers, get moisture in them as they get wet. And, sometimes I may mount 3 deer in one day. By that third deer, that string right there is just cutting every single one of my fingers to pieces. Whereas this one, you can kind of flatten it out a little bit, but it's got more of a round profile to it. I mean, you can really grab a hold of this and pull, and I don't know that you can break this. This right here is extremely strong. I can pull on it as hard as I possibly can when I'm trying to close in my seams on the back, and it does a fantastic job. With the more round profile too, it doesn't have as much of a tendency to cut into your cape. Whereas the flat sinew thread, sometimes if you tighten it too much, it will actually have like a cutting effect, like a knife, and it will slice right through the edges of that cape and just pop right out, Whereas this don't seem to do that quite as bad. Also, this won't fray up. When you pull this through the cape, it slides through the cape very easily. It's got a little bit more of the shape of a cape needle. So it goes right through the hole that you punched with your cape needle very easily, and it's just easier to work with. Is why I like it so much. Like I said, it's called B55. It's actually made for making bowstrings for recurve and longbows. So it's made to be extremely strong. Another advantage of this is you can get it in colors. I believe they do make it in a brown, which would match the fur, but I prefer the black because when you're trying to hide something underneath hair or fur on an animal, everything is shadowed. And to me, when you go to do repair work, or like stitching, for instance, when it's up under that hair, anything black just completely disappears. I mean, you'll never see this right here when you stitch with it on that back seam. It's like it doesn't even exist. But anyway, I just thought I would go over that and the reason why I use what I use. It's good to have both. Definitely recommend this for repair work because, like I said, this right here will show up. If you have to repair a place on the front of that snout, you're going to be able to see this thread. Whereas a little small, thin piece of this right here is not going to show up nearly as bad. I'm going to put links to both of these in the description. Amazon does carry both, and you can pick these up off of there. But anyway, guys, appreciate y'all watching. Y'all hit subscribe, give me a thumbs up. We'll see y'all next time.